back to my channel. So today I thought that I would bring you along with me and just kind of share with you how I plan out my kindergartner's week for school. So we use Abeka, so I have a daily guide that I use to kind of go through what I need to plan out for him, get the supplies ready for him for the week, so I'm not scrambling around trying to find things. And yeah, so I will mention that he's been doing really well with school, so he doesn't really give me problems about watching his videos or anything like that. I do help him with certain subjects, and I'll probably just talk about that as I'm doing the plan with me for each subject. But there are some hands-on type things that he does enjoy doing. We've been using the blend flashcards. He does pretty well with them already, but I like to enforce them because sometimes with the videos, the kids go faster than he does or it distracts him. So I want to make sure that he's not just yelling out what the kids are yelling out. I want to be sure that he actually knows what the blends are by looking at them and not hearing what the other kids are saying. So I kind of like pulling him away from them while we work through the blends. And then I also have him do like sentences and stuff with me on a little whiteboard that we have. What else do we do? I go over, like, I'm just going to explain it to you now instead of waiting until we do the plan with me. I may go over it a little bit then too, but when it comes to his writing video, for the most part, I will just have him do his writing sheet and then we'll kind of go over it as he's doing it or after he does it. And then the reading I do not have him do with the class. I just look in my daily guide, and I also have the, what is it called? I think it's like the parent-led lesson plan book. I bought it on the side just because I wanted something just in case I was going to be teaching him the lessons. It would be more in depth for me so that because with the daily guides from the video led, it literally just tells you like what pages they're doing and a basic thing of what they're working on, but it's not a lesson plan like a teacher's lesson plan. So I did buy that book, so I kind of use that and go off of that as well, just to see what kind of activities they're doing, what blends they're using, and things like that, just to kind of get a better idea. Now you guys do not need to do that at all. I just like it because I kind of know more of what's going on if I'm not watching the video. If you have multiple kids, it is nice to have that just because you can see what is going on in that video if you're not sitting there watching it with them. So that's super helpful, and that's why I use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the supplies that I need, and then I'll kind of walk through with you guys what I use and what I have in front of me. I've kind of laid out this stuff here just to share with you guys what all I use. So basically this here I have separated per week, and all of our weekly work is in here. So for this coming up week, I just grab out the next stack of papers, and that's Monday through Friday's work, and then I set this back on his little shelf. And then, let's see here, all of his stuff goes into his little folder here, and it goes on his cart, so he knows to grab from here. Sometimes I help him though, because he gets confused on what he needs to grab sometimes. So we pull from here. And then this is my video manual that I use, and then this is the teacher's lesson. It's called Curriculum Lesson Plans, okay? And then what else? Let's see here. So he has large alphabet flashcards, and then we have our manuscript formation flashcards. We are not working through cursive right now. We are just focusing on manuscript, but you may have the cursive flashcards. So it just has the upper and lower case, and it shows which direction, where to start. So these work really well. And then I have a pack of his flashcards in here because now we are building sentences. So we write words on these cards and build sentences with them. I also have the one vowel flashcards here. These are Abeka's. We've had these since, I think my niece was in kindergarten. So it comes in this, like just a little white box, and this is the label. Okay, so it is Blend Practice Cards Box A because there's a B. I think this is just one vowel, and then they have two vowel blends. So they have the short and long sounds here. So pretty cool. So we go through these quite often these days. These are what I was talking about when I said that I work through his blends with him, just so that I can make sure he's getting it and not just copying the kids in the class. And then I just have a whiteboard here and his little eraser here. I actually have 2 of these because sometimes they have multiple days where you have to write sentences or like fill in the blank type sentences, and I like to just have stuff prepared so I don't have to do it, because you know, working with other kids, it makes it hard to be everywhere at one time. Also, we have these here because he is doing his his letter verses. I forget what these are called. Okay, so these, if you guys are interested, these are through Abeka as well. They're mini Bible memory cards, and they're pretty cool because, for instance, you start here at A, and it starts off with the letter A. So I'll have sinned and come short of the glory of God, Romans 3:23. And then say you're on H, it's honor thy father and thy mother, Exodus 20:12. So it just starts off with that letter. So it's actually really cool. He's doing really well. I'm very, very happy with how he's been understanding Abeka's lessons and things. So, and then we have our little mini flashcards here. They are pretty much like these. They're just on smaller cards. And then these are his vowels. I just separated them. And he also uses these they're individual number cards. So you have the number dots on the back and then the corresponding number on the other side. So he uses these often as well. And I think that's all I'll need. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I almost forgot, one of the most important things that I'm gonna need is my homeschooling planner. So I'm just gonna go to quarter 2. We are almost done actually with quarter 2. I think we're on our last week. So I am on week 18. So I always write my week just so I can keep track of where we are at. If you had multiple kids and you were using this planner, you can put one of the kids here and then one kid here, you know. But this is just for Isaiah. So we are starting on lesson 84. So I just write the lesson numbers down because with Abeka, it's easier to keep track this way. And then I am going to start with looking at just my video manual. It's the easiest breakdown. And then I will look at the lesson plan book as well. But I go to 84 because that's where we're starting, and I basically just look at Bible. So I like to write Bible all the way down just because I feel like it saves me some time. I don't know why. I mean, I go back and forth, I guess, but I do like writing it all at once. So I'm just gonna write Psalm 23 here. And then they're reviewing Isaiah, but I'm not going to do that. And then it says have MBMCL ready. So that is their memory verse cards. Where did I put those? Right here. So he is going to be on L. So I'm just going to switch this to L, and I'm going to leave it like this in his little pouch that I have for him. So I'm just gonna do this here like that. So we just pull it out. So memory verse L. And then I don't write any of the lesson information because the teacher teaches it. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And now I just continue working through Bible. So I'm gonna go to the next day, which is 85, same thing, Psalms review, and then lesson review. So I'm just gonna write same. And then I just go through all the days up to 88, and I do the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. They're just doing different reviews. So then I move on, I go back to here. And I do Isaiah's lessons in order. So his second lesson is phonics. So I'm just going to write phonics here all the way down. So I'm going to go start back on 84. And phonics is... Did I skip phonics? It's right here. So I just write the page, 83 and 84. And then I kind of look here. I don't see anything, so I'm gonna open up this lesson plan book and kind of see what they have planned for phonics. Cause see, okay, so let me just give you an example, just in case you're curious. Oh, I keep going to that page. So phonics, in the video manual, it just says what page you need to have ready for them and what they're going to do. So have LS pages 83, 84 and a sharpened pencil ready. And then it just says play video and then check their page 84 as extra practice at a time of your choosing. So it doesn't really go into it. So if he needed help and I didn't have time to watch the video, I would not know what's going on. That's why I like having this, because here it literally tells you, if you are the teacher, this is what you need to do. So materials that she will be using in the video is letters and sounds, pages 83 and 84, which we know already because that's the pages it tells us to have ready. And those are the pages that I already have in here ready for him. Okay, and then it says visuals. So they're gonna be using the alphabet flashcards, which are these. So he has these, and he can even use his mini cards if he wants. It's completely up to him. And then it says one vowel word charts. Choose words beginning with the consonants your child most needs to review. Here it says to use the one vowel word cards and then to choose words beginning with the consonants your child most needs help with. So this is actually here in the appendix, page 390. So it's at the back of the book, and you can just choose what you want them to read. You don't have to have them read this whole chart. But if you feel like they need practice, this is where you would go to help them with that. And then they want you to use the alphabet flashcards, which are these. And you have them say the name, sound, and clue words as you point to the letters. You can also use like a chart that has the A through Z on it and then kind of just point and ask them to ask. You can use whatever you have on hand. One vowel word cards, place several cards on table, say a blend, have child find words beginning with that blend. So say I put down these and I said, will you go with me to the park? And I say, find the blend that starts with will. And he would have to find this one. So that's how you can play that card game. Now, these are the things that she plays on in the video. So I don't have to do all of this, but I like to know what he's doing, because if I notice that he's not doing or participating, then that's when I'm like, hey, let's do some of our, you know, our one vowel word cards. And then we will work through those. And then that's it. It kind of just walks through using those blends. So I like to kind of see, like I said, just so I can get an idea of what he's doing and what he needs help with. So then once I look through that, I just go back to my daily guides here for the video, and I just go to phonics and I keep working all the way through. But I do want to show you sometimes with phonics on here, they have things to do. So for lesson 85, they're going to be working through page 85 and 86. I write that down, and then you can have them read this. So you can either just pull this out and say, can you read this for me? You know, from here, if you don't want to do all the writing. You can write it on a whiteboard, or you can write it on a regular piece of paper for them. Now for me, when it's this long, I'll just have him read from here. And if it's not something he has to write, like fill in the blanks, then I just have him read from here. Okay, so I'm not gonna write any of that. I'm just gonna say, read from guide. And then I'll know to have him read. And then I just keep moving on down, you guys. So phonics here have vowel chart from appendix B. And then page 87, 88. And I'm going to look through the daily guide in a minute. I just wanted to share with you guys real quick, get through this. Then I'll see if I need to add anything. See, this I'll write on his board. Here, let me show you in a second. Page 89 and 90. Now this, he doesn't have to fill out anything, but it's small enough for me to write on here to where I'm not going to run out of room. Okay, that's good enough because the marker's too fat. Okay, so, and then I'll have him go over this with me. So that's it for his phonics in this particular book. Now I'm just going to take a glance at the rest of this. He already has all of that, so I'm just not going to write that down because he keeps this in his cart and the teacher will tell him what he needs, so he'll know what to grab from there. Same thing there. Callie? Okay, so write these words on sticky notes: Ben, cop, dip, fix, hot. Or I'm sorry, has and Judd. Let's see what they want us to do with those. So she's probably going to have something similar in the video like that, and so I'm not going to do any of that. I do want to mention if I noticed that Isaiah was having a hard time with reading, I would do these on my own with him. I wouldn't have him sit in front of the video and do it. So I would look in here and say, okay, the teacher's going to ask the kids in the class to read Ben, cop, dip, fix, has, and jug. But if I know that Isaiah is struggling, I'm going to write these down on a sticky note and I'm going to sit and I'm going to ask him before the class starts. Like, okay, can you read these for me and see how he does? And I will still have him watch the video because she'd go over it or probably sound it out with him. So I'd still have him watch the video, but I would work with him on that. But he is doing so well with reading right now. I'm just going to let him do it with the class. And again, I'll do his, I do his reading with him when he does have reading, because some days they do and some days they don't. And I will do his blend cards if I see that he needs them. So I don't do anything really extra unless I notice that he needs it. Oh. Okay, so what she's going to have them do on the video when they do this is they are going to be doing their, they're going to be marking their vowels. So I went ahead and just made a little bit more space so he has room to mark his vowels, and I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm happy that I looked in here. See, stuff like that is what you catch, you know, from looking in this little book. Again, you don't need it, you guys, so don't get it if you don't need it. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're struggling and you don't know what's going on in the class and they're struggling, you know, you can even bounce back and forth. Like, say you want them to do the videos for most of the time, but sometimes they want to work with you, or maybe on their off days where they don't want to sit through the video because they are long, then pull this out and do, I mean, this probably takes 20 minutes. The video's 20 minutes, and then the paper tends to take a little longer. So this could probably even take 15 minutes, I'm guessing. Just depends on how well your kids are paying attention, how focused they are. Okay, so that is it for my phonics week. There isn't too much stuff to write down on extra pages or whiteboards. So we're starting at 84. So next is phonics review. Now that they're doing reading, sometimes they don't have phonics review. Like I noticed here, it's just reading. So I'm not going to go ahead and write phonics review because I don't know if it's reading or phonics review. So I put him in basketballs in the middle just to see where he's at. If I feel like he's doing really well, then I'll bump him up. I honestly think I should have started him at a higher level because he's really surprising me. He's doing really, really well. And I say surprised only because he has a speech delay, and so I thought it was going to be a little bit harder for him to you know, understand the different sounds and things like that, but man, he is doing really well. Okay, so here, he needs book 1. And then we're gonna read for homework. Well, we do both. Okay, so book 1, they're gonna read 6 to 7. And then I have to read a question or ask a question. Where did the pig sit? That's the question that I have to ask. Reading. Homework, book 2, 3 to 5. See, why doesn't it say it in there? I wish it said it in there. Okay, so book 2 is pages 3 to 5. I'm sorry, it's like a shadow. Why was Sam sad? Okay, so there's his question. All right, so now we are gonna go into 85. And it's reading again. So I'm just gonna write read, book 2, 2 to 4. Six. Phonics review. So they have phonics review this day, so I'm just gonna abbreviate it for myself. Page 91. And then vowel chart from Appendix B. Okay, so 88 then. So 88, we'll just do that so I know that there's nothing and I'm not going crazy. And then they are going to have book 2. Oops, this is reading. Book 2, page 5 to 7. Why was Sam sad? We asked that. What can Sam do? I'm just going to write guide because I'm not going to write all of those questions here. Let's see here. All right. So now we're going to go back and we're going to start with numbers because that's what I do next. And that is every day. Page 66. And again, all of these are now in his little binder here. Or not a binder, you guys, you know, a folder. Binder. Okay. So this is something that I am going to write on a piece of paper because they have all of these here. So let me get something to write them on. So I have these extra writing sheets from my niece. She didn't use them all, so I'm just going to use these to have him do these little things on. Oops. All right, let me see if I could move this out of the way so you guys can see. You guys can use whatever. It's just easier to keep it on paper that he's actually learning where the lines and stuff are. So I'm going to go 6. Uh-oh, I skipped a line. Look. And then I'll just do it backwards. And then 2. So he's just writing the next number. You guys, I can't even write how they're supposed to write. So this is 17. I had one more to do, but I ran out of room, and I'm just gonna leave it like that for him to do. So this is going to be lesson 84. Okay, so I will put this in here so he knows what to do. So that is ready for him. I'll just write my worksheet. That way I know to look for that just in case he doesn't. And then 85. Is 67, 68. Okay, and he'll have like an oral sheet that we have to do together where I ask him to read something or tell me the answers or tell me the numbers. So that's what's going to be on 85. And then 86 shows another set of these. Have my growth chart from back cover, measure tape. Okay, we already did that. And then addition families from Appendix E. So Appendix E, addition families. And then my worksheet. So again, I'm going to take this because I'm not going to waste this. And this is going to be lesson 86. It looks a little bit different back here, but that's okay. I'll write it right here. Lesson 86. And so I'm going to do 2 plus 2 equals, and then we'll leave some room. 1 plus 2. You could do this on a whiteboard, a chalkboard, however you guys want to do it. I'm just gonna do it here. Okay, so then 86, or what is it, 87, right? So 87 is page 15 and 16. Numbers writing. Yeah, so this is, it says page 15 and 16, lesson 87. So this is the worksheet. I'm just gonna stick this with 84 up here. And then whatever we, like if he has a sheet in here, say this, oh, well, this is a good, okay, so for instance, this is lesson 84 and this is lesson 86. Once he finishes lesson 84, he will not put this in his tray. We will put it on this side of his folder, so I know that this is like a continuation of one of the days that are coming up, so that I don't get lost in a pile of papers. So that's how we do that. We just move it to the next side. And then let's see here. So that is it for numbers. Oh, have a scented marker. Okay, so have a scented marker. I have to ask his sister. I think she has some. Okay, so that's it for 87, and then 88 for numbers. We have something else for this. So I think, did I end? No. I'm just gonna use a pen and I'm gonna draw a line, a really bad line, you guys. I'm gonna draw a wavy line, okay? And then this is gonna be lesson 88. So I'll know that, so I'll be able to help him with this. I don't just have him go and doing it all on his own. So then I'm going to do this for him so that he can just do it on the paper. 21, 28, 28. There. Okay, So again, I will just stick this back in here. I don't want to waste any papers. Sometimes it's easier to do it on this than on this, but he has fun on this. That's why I like to do it on here sometimes. So it works either way, however you guys want to do it. So 88, have students fill in after. So that's all he has to do. So I'll just write my worksheet, so then I'll know. Okay, so we are done with numbers, you guys. And I'm not even gonna bother looking at this. The only time I really look at this is if it doesn't have information here or if I'm going to be teaching it. But I do like to look on that when it doesn't make sense to me, like I've said. I think I keep repeating myself, but I just wanna make it clear that you do not need that because I only use it sometimes. But I did want to point it out because I do use it sometimes. Okay, so the next lesson that we normally do is writing. So I'm just going to write that all the way down. So writing's really easy. We literally just, I hope it's not too dark in here because it's nighttime. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I normally just have him do the sheet of writing. I don't have him watch the videos all the time. I did at first, and then I just figured, you know, why? Why make him do that? So 79 through 80, 95, okay, so for instance here on this one, it says what display cards to have out. That's this, the MFF, Manuscript Formation Flashcards. And it says A, E, and I. So I'm gonna write that so I can tell him, hey, grab your flashcards for, you know, A, E, I, and then he'll grab them. Okay, and then 87, we have page 96, O and U, oops. And then 88, we have 81 and 82. And I'm gonna have him write his own name. Write your name. Okay. So that's it for writing. And then next is activity time. And so under activity time on the video, oh gosh, I hope I'm in the frame, you guys. I was just going crazy and not paying attention. Under activity time, they will have like music or art, whatever they have for that. And then they will have skills development and language enrichment. And I think it goes activity time, language, and then skills. So I'm just gonna do that. And I just write act, and then this I'll write music because that's what he has. And then the next one is language enrichment. And sometimes there's nothing at all to write with that. That's skills. Where's language? Oh, and they'll have seat work explanation where it will explain all their seat work that they need to do, but I don't have him watch that either. I just guide him on what he needs to do. Yeah, see, so I don't write any of this down, but it just says beginning in this lesson, reading homework is typically assigned 2 days a week. The video teacher explains reading homework in this lesson. So then this is, oh, okay, so this is where you would find out where the reading was. Remember, I was confused at the beginning, like why it wasn't telling me what pages. It's because she explains it during language enrichment. So you can either pay attention to that, or does it have it here for us? No, it just tells us what book. So make sure you guys check that out so you know what your kid needs to do. And then skills was at the beginning. So, or language. Oh, that's language. Language has, no, it's right. You guys see me? I'm going crazy over here. Okay, so skills development. So this is just nothing, basically. You could write that they'll, here, you know what? I'm going to do that because I'll be like, what are we supposed to do with your reading? Explain reading. Uh-oh. Reading homework. Okay, but I don't do it as homework. I will literally do it during school, but I'm just writing that. So page 51, and he'll have his crayons ready. So I just write it there because I don't have a line there. So I made my own. And then, let's see here, 85. 85 is activity first. I'm going to write skills right here just so I don't have to go back and forth. No, I won't do that right now because I'm filming, but I would do that sometimes just so I don't have to go back and forth with the pages. So where's activity time? Activity is social studies. So activity is social studies. And he's going to be working on page 91. Scissors, he already has that at his desk, so I'm not going to write that. And then I just go into language. I do it like this. I don't know why. Maybe because it's all linked together in the video and that's how I keep it in my mind. Have objects ready to review, sweet and sour, and wide and narrow. I never do that, you guys, but you could totally do that. I just never do. So sweet, I'll just write it. Sour, wide. Uh-oh, I was writing wind. Wide and narrow. And then skills development is page 52, and he needs a book. So page 52 and a book. And so what I'm going to use for his book is I purchased these from The Good and the Beautiful. And so they're just beginner books. So I'll just have him read this because these are words that he can already read. So the fox has a cub. The cub is on the fox. And we'll just go over it like that. So I'm just going to have these at his desk or on his cart. I'm not sure, wherever I could fit him, his desk. I need to do like a second quarter cleanup soon because this room is out of control. Who else is having an out of control room right now? Okay, so 86. Activity is social studies again. So activity time is social studies, and he's going to be doing 93 and 94, and he needs crayons. He already has crayons. So then we're going to go into language enrichment, and there's nothing on here to do, so it's just something that he's going to have to listen to. And then skills, coat, hat, and mittens, children, boots, raincoat, and an umbrella ready. Okay, so I will have, I don't think I have like a raincoat, but I will give him a coat and a hat, mittens, and an umbrella. Okay. So then 87, activity time. It says here art, and I already have all of his art put together. I'll show that to you guys if you guys have not seen what I've done with his art just to help me. I started it at the beginning of the year and it has helped so much. Okay, so after that we have language enrichment. And that is page 87 and 88. So they have to act out the three little pigs. I don't know if he will ask me if he wants to do that, because sometimes he likes doing stuff like that with me. Have a shirt with buttons ready. Okay, so skills, so he must be doing buttons. So shirt with buttons. So I'll grab one of his dad's shirts. And then the last day we have activity. social studies, page 95 and 96. Nothing there. Language in... Oh, they're doing that again? Did I read that in this? Okay. I thought that I was rereading the same thing, but they must be working on it for a couple days. So I'm just gonna write 3 little pigs so that it reminds me. And then skills, he has 79 and 81. 79 and 81. And art. Oh, they're counting dimes and dollar bills. Okay, that'll be fun. And he already has his little bank from lesson 38. I think it's at his, or in his cart. I have to double check. But that's pretty much it. Let me show you guys the art that I was talking about. Okay, so this is his little basket of art stuff. Now, this is just like a doctor kit in here. And he also has these little teeth that he can brush, you know, when he was going over dentist. And we do this to work on how to brush all those teeth. It's kind of cool. I think I got this from the Dollar Tree, and it has like a fake plastic brush, but I just liked using one of these brushes from the Dollar Tree because it's a real brush, so it feels different when you brush it. But anyways, so this is his little art basket here. All of these bags have his art activities separated per lesson. And I'm so sorry, you guys, I'm like trying to think. So for instance, this is lesson or art project number 19, and it's for the windmill. So he needed this little fastener here. So it's just in here. For 21, he needs this large stick. He needs a paper plate, but it just wouldn't fit in here. But I've just separated out his things and have them ready for him already. And I'll just reuse these plastic bags. I used these last year, I think, for the girls for their science, and just like reused the bags. But he'll need like these water paints, or I'm sorry, these washable paints. So I have these in here. I have the glitter glues that he's needed. I have his little paint trays, his sponge brush, and these they actually call for as well. Oh, here's his little toothbrush. See how it's like hard plastic? Uh-oh, one of his little fishy letters. But that's basically what I have for his art thing. So when we need to start art, I just pull this out of here and he's ready to go. So it's been super helpful having this prepared at the beginning of the week. So that's been nice. Something that I didn't use that I talked about was his flashcards, because sometimes they have like sentence building and they say to write words on flashcards and then have the kids put them in like a full sentence. So that's what these were used for, but we didn't need them this week. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope that this gave you an insight on how I plan out my kindergartners. It's kind of just, I go off of the daily guide and work through it like that, just kind of give me an idea of what's coming up for the week. And trying to have those little things ready and prepared. It's super helpful when you have either a kid that is easily distracted. Mine is very easily distracted. So if he just continues to stay busy, he gets through the day really fast. If there's a lot of distraction or him waiting on me, it tends to take a little bit longer because he loses focus. So to have all of these little things in order is super helpful. Also, if you have other kids, it's really helpful also to have these in order. That way everything's pretty much ready for him. If he needs something, I can just grab it and give it to him. So it's been really helpful doing it this way. I pretty much did this the same way with my daughter in first grade as well. But that is it. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for hanging out today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. You guys be safe and be blessed. Bye.